Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Nerd Nation podcast. I'm once again joined by my co-host Brandon.
Hello.
Happy to have you here, Brandon. This is the second time we're recording this, so we're a bit annoyed.
Yeah,
The first
'cause of
one just
this.
kind of stopped. We don't know what happened, but we'll just brush over that. We
Could be awkward
apologize that
citizen.
it's been we apologize that it's been a while since the first episode. Been about a week in between. We are both preoccupied, seeing family a lot, and we got to Wednesday and we were like, you know what, let's start fresh on Sunday and get back into the schedule and things like that. And once again, thank you for the support that you showed us on the first episode, because we just did this for fun, really. We didn't expect like 50 people to listen to it. So thank you very much for that. And please leave us feedback, message us on the review section on Instagram or whatever, because we would really like to know that. Yeah. But this week's topic of discussion is the Xbox Games Showcase that happened last week on Thursday, that me and Brandon both attended. Brandon was a bit reluctant,
Yep.
I can tell, but you know what? I'm very proud that he did it. And I'm going to go
good.
straight to your view, Brandon. What was your impression on the event and the games that were announced?
Well, of course, I didn't really want to go to this event because I'm biased towards PlayStation, but I did enjoy some of the games that were shown at the Xbox event. I was expecting it to be more about the Xbox itself rather than the games, even though it literally said in the title "Game Showcase." As neither PlayStation or Xbox have showed any, UI gameplay or the interface, etc. So it's like we can't really get a grasp of what we're actually buying.
Yeah.
But however, I think there's been rumors that next month they're showing gameplay in both ends. So they're going to have a
Yeah.
PlayStation event and they're having an Xbox event. With the Xbox event, I watched it with my friend, you see, and I think there was there was this beginning show, and you had like MatPat on it, you had Jacksepticeye, and they were all talking about like how excited they were for Halo. And I thought, okay, well, Halo's obviously the gem. What are they going to do with it? They're going to show it at the end. But no, they show it at the beginning, and it's like, okay, even though, I don't know whether that was the best decision to make, because it's like, Halo's their gem. If you're going to show that, I'd put it in like the middle of the end. But either way, though, it was a cool trailer. Like,
Yeah.
I swear we've never heard Master Chief talk or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we
Stop
have, but
talking.
you
Yeah, you see, my friend, he was telling me how like, oh, we've never heard Master Chief speak. I was, okay, I just got confused anyway. But my impression of it, I had no clue what was going on. Of course, the Master Chief did look cool, and the open world did look pretty cool with the whole open world map. However, there was the complaint against graphics, and I don't know whether this is because, of course, it was live streamed, or it's still a work in progress, which the developers have said. But people were very annoyed with graphics, and they've made memes out of it, like they zoomed on this alien and called him Craig or something.
yes, yes.
Alone, okay. Don't fix him
rather funny.
don't fix him with the looks. When I was looking at gameplay, I was kind of expecting more. That's probably me saying from, when I go into a game, I want to expect something different. Although there was the grappling hook that did seem cool, and I know
Yeah.
that I've been in a Halo game before. However, it reminded me too much of like Doom and Destiny combined. I don't know how that, of course, felt for you, because of course you're a massive Halo fan.
Yeah.
But for me, if I was just going into it fresh, I would be like, okay, well, this is like from what I've seen from other games, it's nothing really different.
Okay, well, that is a very valid argument. Personally, with me, when it comes to Halo, and we will talk about the other games in a bit. First, we have to clear some things up. Apparently, there are rumors online saying that was a demo meant to be shown at E3, either last year or a few
Okay.
years ago, and obviously as it was cancelled and they did that. But also you can tell that these aren't the final graphics if you look at the reveal
Yeah.
trailer, and if you look at the cinematic trailers for Halo, you can see clearly that the graphics are a lot better in them, which means this is obviously still a work in progress. And I think it's important for people to recognize that. There will be an August Xbox showcase, and I assume a PS5 one as well. I really hope we get to see the interface, because I love the Xbox One, but Microsoft have changed the interface like 5 times, and it's got progressively worse. Like right now, it's I just don't really like the current style of it. But also some news that we only got yesterday, I believe, that Halo Infinite multiplayer, the multiplayer side of it, is going to be free to play and will be able to run at 120 FPS, which is very, very good to hear. So that people,
haven't they?
yeah, it's something like that. You buy the campaign separately. Huh?
What's the multiplayer like in those?
Well, it depends if they do like a beta program or if they do a private alpha or whatever for people to test it. We really don't know, but I think the biggest thing to get from this is that it will give people who aren't sort of like big Halo fans a chance to experience, Halo multiplayer for the first time, because there are still a lot of people out there who haven't, especially as they're trying to go into sort of the classic Halo style. And weaponry and things like that. You can clearly tell from the trailer that the assault rifle is based off the assault rifle in Halo Reach, for example. And so after Halo 4 and Halo 5, a lot of things I heard were Halo 4 and 5 are great games, but just not great Halo games. And what they're trying to do is make a good Halo game right now. So it's not going to be appealing to everyone, but it will be for the Halo fans who want sort of the classic Halo experience, and I think they've done that very well. They have included Sprint, which was a bit controversial, but people are generally okay with that because
well, they're not happy with the Sprint one.
Because Halo, up until Halo Reach, Halo didn't have a sprint. The whole point was that you were sprinting all the time, and Spartans could shoot while they were walking. And it doesn't break the flow of gameplay. But I think the way they've implemented it into Halo Infinite is very good. I like what they've done with that. Things like the grapple hook, I think, are just, it had a cooldown. It's not going to be like a major part of gameplay and things like that. And the enemies, we obviously got Craig. I really hope we see a Craig Easter egg in the game. What if you find him in a cave and he's just smiling at you or something like that? 343 have acknowledged Craig, so they obviously know about the memes about it. It overall just looks great. The AI looks so good, compared to things like Destiny, where you don't go into a Destiny boss fight saying this is a difficult boss. You say this boss has a lot of health. Whereas in Halo, the AI, ever since Combat Evolved, has been brilliant. They behave the same way. Grunts will run away if they're weak, or if you stick a grenade to them. Elites are aggressive and will dodge your attacks and can kill you instantly in some cases. And I think Xbox is going in the right direction. In my opinion, was the event perfect? Was it out of this world? No, but I think they are on the right track. And they know what they are doing. They know what went wrong with the Xbox One, and I think they know that in order to challenge the PS5, they have to make some big changes and things like that. And I think this is shaping up to be a real, console battle. I don't want to say console war, because I don't agree with that, but I'm saying it in the sense that it will be interesting to see which one comes out on top, because at this point we don't know.
I think Game Pass is quite convincing.
Yeah, and Game Pass. That deal is brilliant. All 22 games they showed at that Xbox showcase will be on Game Pass. Every single new Xbox Game Studios exclusive game will be on Game Pass, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm very happy with that. It's a great deal. But nevertheless, I think it was a great event. And hopefully the one in August for the Xbox and the PlayStation is going to show us, an even better side of these consoles.
Yeah, it should expand on it.
And yeah. So, shall we get into some of the other games? I know Brandon wanted to talk about Ghost of Tunisia that released for the place. Tunisia. I don't know what it is. What is it?
Tsushima.
Tunisia is not.
Tunisia.
That would be, yeah.
That's a bit way off.
That is a bit of a way off. I can't read. Okay. So give us your thoughts on that game so far.
Oh no, I thought we were going to go into the other Xbox games that we.
Oh no, we will come back to that in a bit. I think.
Oh okay.
You tell us about that first, and then we'll.
Oh yeah.
We'll sort of get back.
Maybe a bit of a switch. Well, yeah, this game called Ghost of Tsushima came out. I think it was June 19th. No, not June 19th. July 19th. Been reviewed 9 by IGN. It's quite a high-rated game, and I've been seeing live streams on it by YouTubers like PewDiePie, for example. It looks amazing, honestly. Like, samurai combat is the best.
The combat does look brilliant.
I haven't played it yet, and I need to wait a while so I can get some money to play it. But it looks beautiful as well. I just can't wait to be playing as another samurai. There's just something about samurai games that grasp me. Like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic game, and Ghost of Tsushima reminds me of that. And it's like when you're fighting people, I've watched videos on this. You have to do things like honorably, and you switch different stances and whatnot. When you kill somebody, you can like honor their death and whatnot. It makes you feel like a proper samurai, and it's sick. I love it. But that's all I'd say on it, really. It's just a fantastic game.
Fair enough. So we'll hopefully have some more info on that once Brandon gets to play the game.
Yeah.
I assume we can dedicate an entire part of an episode to that one day. So let's get into some of the other games that were revealed at the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, I wrote these ones down.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. They all look. I don't think there were any games that didn't interest me. I think there was one or two I thought meh about, but there weren't any that I thought, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Why on earth would I play that? They all looked interesting to me in some way, shape, or form. But one that really stood out was Grounded, the survival game set in the grass, where you play as a tiny character and you're fighting ants and spiders and things like that in a miniature world. And I have played it. It released, I don't know, I think it was back on Monday or something like that on Xbox Game Pass, so I did get to play it as soon as it came out. I haven't played a ton of it, but from what I have played, it is really fun and really unique as well. You choose from 4 characters. You have to survive in the wild, crafting weapons from things like twigs and blades of grass. It's really awesome so far.
I presume this is an online game.
Yes, you can play it with other people as well, which I'm hoping to do at some point. And we should have a full-on verdict on the game at some point in the future. But that one was by far one of the best games at the showcase. So unique, and it looks really good.
Didn't they release that because they were working with something else?
I'm not.
I can't remember what it was called.
I'm not sure. It is only in game preview stage, so it's obviously.
No, yeah. I swear this is the same company that was working on that Avowed, which looked a bit like.
Oh yeah, Obsidian. Is it Obsidian?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Obsidian Games, yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Avowed looks brilliant. Looks a bit like Elder Scrolls mixed with Diablo in first person and things like that. It looks great. Brandon, give us a game and what your thoughts were.
I think after Halo, what was shown was State of Decay.
Ah, yes.
And at first I was really fucking confused because there was a wolf, and then this woman just, it's just a nice little wolf. You think, okay, what's this trailer about? What is it? And then she starts like screaming at the wolf. And honestly, I laughed my head off at that point because I was like, what the fuck is going on? The wolf runs off, and then he comes back with like his head split, I think it was. It might have been a deer. It just looked really cool, but like odd in the same manner, if that makes sense. I have no clue what State of Decay is on about.
Zombies. It's
Yeah,
a
probably zombies.
zombie-based survival game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it did look cool.
Looked intriguing.
Deer zombies, that's something.
Yeah. And what are your, because I know this is probably one you have a better insight on than I do. What are your thoughts on the Destiny presentation, on the mobile release and the next gen things? What did you think about that?
See, I didn't know there was a mobile release.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Did they advertise that at the Xbox event?
I think so. I might be I'm looking it up now, but just tell us
Okay.
what you thought about the sort of
Upgrade.
what else they showed.
Well, you see, when they announced when they announced the Destiny upgrade, I was thinking like, okay, so they're really continuing with Destiny 2 when they could just end it and make a Destiny 3. Instead of having to make us buy more and more expansions for Destiny 2, which, is now going on to a next gen console. You want this next gen UI, you want this next gen graphics and gameplay. But no, they're just going with the old gen, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was the Beyond the Light update. I think it was called the DLC.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to be like the final one or something. Honestly, I'm disappointed with Destiny 2's DLCs. I think the only good one was Forsaken.
Yeah. I think I agree. They weren't really as appealing as in the first game.
Yeah, the game
And
was fantastic.
forget what I just said. I said it's getting a mobile release. It will be releasing on the Project X Cloud for the Xbox, which is sort of the streaming service where you can stream games to your phone, so you can theoretically play Destiny on your phone. Dang it, I just lied to a lot of people there. But who knows? Maybe we will be getting a Switch release of Destiny. I'm kind of surprised we haven't got a Switch released. They've decided to put Destiny 2 on Google Stadia, but not on Nintendo Switch, which is a bit odd to me. I know it's a high graphic game, and maybe the Switch won't be able to handle that stuff, especially in portable mode. But you've got to hope for something like that as well. Another game that intrigued me was Stalker 2. I think that's what it was. And we saw it was set in Chernobyl. You could hear the radiation monitor, things like that.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, it looks. I haven't played the first Stalker game. I don't even know what it's about, but just from that reveal trailer, I was like, okay, this does look cool. Exploring the radiation zone and things like that. Something to do with that.
It didn't really interest me as much because you see the way they first advertised it, it looked like a horror. Whenever there's a horror game, I flip out and it's like, wow, this could be really good. And then I started seeing futuristic stuff and I started losing interest. So me and my friend were really bummed out that it wasn't a horror.
Yeah.
But it did look good in whatever genre it is.
Yeah. Well, the brilliant thing is people are entitled to opinions.
Yeah.
And I think I'm trying to think of what the other games were as well. There were a lot there that
Warhammer.
That was it. It looked. I don't really know how to describe it. I didn't expect it to be Warhammer when I first saw it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's Warhammer? Wow, okay. I haven't played any of the Warhammer games before, and I didn't think, like, I saw the trailer, I was like, what? That's Warhammer? Like, what? I didn't really get what was going on, and I did not expect it to be Warhammer at the end. What did you think?
I swear Warhammer's like bloody green ogres and whatnot. And then suddenly there's some soldiers showing up, and I don't even think they were soldiers. I think it was like an army of undead, and they were in a dungeon or something.
Yeah. But I think it was. I feel like it looked interesting, but they should have made it more apparent that it was Warhammer. At first. We did get a bit of Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well, which looked interesting. Yes, we did. Or did we? I don't know.
I don't think
Avowed.
That no, was I don't.
Not that one. Avowed, the one that looked a bit like Elder Scrolls. And from that initial reveal trailer, it looked awesome. He had the sword in one hand and was doing this like magic ritual thing in the other hand. It looked really awesome. Especially from when those troops fired those like fire arrows and it landed in this cave. Looks very interesting. I can't wait to sort of see what that's like, because that does look very intriguing to me. What did you think of that?
I mean, I guess it looks cool.
It is, yeah.
It does look cool.
I honestly, for me, it looked a bit too samey. It did look very much like Skyrim or something like that.
Yeah.
But what else? We got a new Forza Motorsport game that I know Brandon could not care less about. But you know what? I actually kind of like racing games. We don't know.
They didn't show any gameplay for it, though, did they?
We don't know too much about it, but we know that there is a new Forza game coming. I think people were definitely hoping for Forza Horizon 5 instead of Forza Motorsport 8. So Horizon is like the open world thing, whereas Motorsport is the proper simulation one. But either way, I think the reception for that was very good. We also got Fable as well, that they left till the end, and
fantastic.
Fable is just like, yes, Fable. We haven't had a Fable game in so long, and I think people were very happy to see that. Although on the other hand, there was this weird, like, I don't remember what it was called. There was this weird anime MMORPG that.
Oh, New Genesis. That looks cool.
Okay.
That looked like Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, it looked a bit like it looked a bit too like Black Desert for me, and Monster Hunter, but we'll have to wait and see for that. I just think compared to the other games that they announced, it wasn't really that good, really. I don't know, but I'm very glad we saw a lot of more story-based games. Like Tell Me Why, that one looks really interesting. I'm very glad that they're focusing on more single-player games, because at the essence of it, that's what sold the PlayStation a lot better than the Xbox. Single-player exclusive games, and I'm very happy that Microsoft have realized that that's what they need to focus on. And we got quite a range of good, really, I don't know what the word is, like heartwarming looking single player games that look really intriguing, and that looked really good. And that Tell Me Why one looked really impressive, actually. And but other than that, is there anything else you want to say about the Xbox Game Showcase?
The Crossfire X.
Yeah.
That looked really
that
cool.
Did look good.
I was watching and I was there like, whoa, what the fuck? This is brilliant. Like, it was window smashing, it was guns, gunfire and going off. There was all this jumping, and it just looked epic. It reminded me of like Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
It does look like a big
Mm.
blend of a lot of
Epic.
shooters, didn't it?
Yeah.
It seemed to be very varied. There seemed to be a lot you could do. The story looked brilliant, but in terms of gameplay, there were vehicles, there were gadgets and things like that. It does look very interesting to me. Almost reminded me a bit of the Battlefield 4 trailer, the reveal trailer for that, when it showed off the
Yeah.
Shanghai map and the building coming down and how crazy and epic it was. It reminded me a lot of that. But other than that, I think the biggest thing to get from this event is there's a few things. One, Microsoft is on the right track. Okay, are they there yet? Maybe, maybe not, but they are heading in the right direction. And I think, once the prices are revealed, that is definitely probably going to be the determining factor at this point. We know that the PS5 has a all digital edition as well. So we don't know how that's going to sort of hold up against the Series X. We don't know.
See, there's a lot
Yeah.
of polls, and I think there was this one I read the other day, and it was like 84% of people in UK have chosen
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 over the
Yeah.
Xbox.
Which is very interesting to see, really. We don't know how reliable that poll is. We really don't know, but we'll have to wait and see.
What did you think of the PlayStation
I
event?
think the PlayStation event was very good. I think they handled it a lot better than the original Xbox one in like May, where it looked like they were all on a Zoom call. Another thing, this Xbox event, so much better than the one they did a few months ago. And the PS5 event did look very good. The look of the console is a lot better than the Series X. But, in my opinion, it doesn't really come down to that. I think we just kind of have to wait and see, really.
I mean, for me, the big win over was the games. Like, I think the first one they showed was Spider-Man. And of course, that's what they're selling with the console. So we're going to have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, I think is
Yeah.
And I think we're getting a remastered edition of the Spider-Man that's on the PS4 as well.
And I think it's going to be those launch titles that are going to be the big sort of juggernauts going into this. As well as it being the Series X versus the PlayStation 5 going into this next-gen consoles, it's also going to be, Halo versus Spider-Man. It's going to be these big launch titles that are going to really determine the outcome of who gets on top. And I can already tell the Series X is going to have a better launch than the Xbox One. The Xbox One had a notoriously bad launch. A Kinect came with it, compulsory, and we all know how terrible the Kinect is. Microsoft, advertised it more as a multimedia device than a games console, and they've certainly learned from their mistakes, and I think that's the biggest thing to take from it, as well as the games. And you know what? On that note, I think that was a very good discussion, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, out of all the games that were shown in both the PlayStation event and Xbox event, which one would you say was your favorite?
I think Halo for the Xbox, and for the PlayStation, it's
the thing is, for the PlayStation, it showed games that would be on the Xbox and PlayStation.
But probably Spider-Man, whereas,
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was watching the Xbox event, I expected more games to be shown that would be both consoles and then turn out to be exclusives, whereas like PlayStation did both.
But in a way, it's good because Xbox really needs to focus on exclusives because that's what they have the lack of at the minute.
I think one that really gripped me was Hitman 3.
Yeah.
That looked epic. Deathloop, which is a Bethesda game, and there's this phrase in it: you run around and you have to kill somebody, and you're getting killed over and over. And the phrase was like, what do you do? It's like you have to die and die again before you get it right. So for me, that just seemed
Yeah,
really cool because you're like jumping off walls, shooting everybody.
certainly seems unique.
But I feel the MVP of all those trailers for me was Resident
Yeah,
Evil 8. Didn't expect it, you know. I mean, you could hear Ethan's and Mia's voice in the beginning, and then I was expecting it to be like Silent Hill,
yeah,
and then it's out like Chris comes in at the end and shoots Mia, and it's like, okay, what am I really watching Resident Evil now? Why is Chris just came in and shot up somebody,
yeah.
which isn't like him? And they did a developer message, and they were there like, you can play Resident Evil 8 in VR as well. So guess who's playing Resident Evil 8 in VR when
Oh,
it
I
comes out?
wouldn't know, to be honest.
Oh, I love. And another thing as well, and I think this has won me over for PlayStation for sure, is that they've leaked what's going to be shown in the State of Play next month, and they're going to be showing Silent Hill. And of course, this is Silent Hill is a massive icon for gaming because a while we had Silent Hill 1, 2, 3. That from 3 it just started getting crap, but then of course we had PT, which came out 2015, 16, somewhere around there. And Hideo Kojima made it, and it was meant to be like the next Silent Hill game. And then it got cancelled, and everyone was bummed out, and it was horrible. And now Konami have made a deal with Sony for their first 3 games, apparently, to be PlayStation exclusives.
Well, yeah.
Which, not gonna lie, that's quite a move from Sony, isn't it? Because they know Silent Hill is quite a big game in media. And they did it in Dead by Daylight. They released the Silent Hill chapter because, of course, they want to kind of like build up to the reveal that it's being revived. So I think in that PS event, they're going to show God of War 2 as well.
Yeah.
With God of War 1, well, actually, no, God of War 4, sorry. It was called a masterpiece. It was rated 10. Everybody loved it. I think it got Game of the Year 2018. 2019, it was Sekiro. 2017,
it was Breath of the Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild. But speaking of that as well, we're still awaiting news from Nintendo. That's really annoyed me recently because we had a Nintendo Direct Mini earlier in July. That was a partner showcase, so it was showing third-party games coming to the Switch in fall, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, where is Breath of the Wild 2?" And where is the new people are expecting Super Mario 3D World remastered and things like that. Oh no, Super Mario 64 remastered, things like that. I still think we're getting those. Breath of the Wild 2 has been confirmed. And you know what? If Breath of the Wild is said to be the best game ever made and won Game of the Year, who knows what Breath of the Wild 2 could hold. I don't think Nintendo was stupid enough to just, not do that. I think they're giving it some time. So I think it's still going to be... I think Nintendo still have a shot in the console, battle. The Switch has been the best-selling console in America since its launch. It's been the best-selling console of the past 2 years. It's out of stock everywhere at the minute. Me and my cousin were very fortunate to get our hands on one. And I think because of how well the Switch has done and because of the portability, I think it could maybe have a place in the holiday of this year. Maybe it isn't just going to be the Series X and the PS5. It might be the Series X, the PS5, and the Switch. Who knows? What if they come out with a Switch Pro or something like that? Who knows?
Okay. So I guess the big question is, have you decided what next gen console?
I have not. because for me it comes down to the price. If like, you know, even if let's put this into perspective. If the Series X does really well and the PS5 doesn't do as well, but the Series X is, say, £600 and the PS5 is £500, I'll get the PS5. Because at the minute, my opinions on the two consoles are equal. I'm not too bothered too much about missing out, because all of the games they've announced are going to be releasing on the Xbox One as well. So I'll still be able to play Halo. I'll still be able to play, you know, State of Decay 3 on the Xbox One. So my opinion on both of them is equal. It all comes down to the price, and I think they're both waiting for the other to. We don't know how long it's gonna be. It's like a, you know, an infinite Uno reverse card. You know, you reveal the price. You reveal the price. You reveal the price. We don't know. But maybe in August they will do that. We don't know. But yeah, what about you? Why am I asking that? I already know which one you're going to be getting.
Yeah, it's got to be a PlayStation.
But it depends as well. If the digital version, there are rumors going around that the digital version could be in the $350 range, maybe, and the non-digital version is $500. You know, I've heard things like that.
Yeah, that's the one that's expensive.
I'll just be getting, probably, like, at the moment, I'll be getting whichever console is cheaper.
I don't think I'd risk it.
Yeah, I don't know how I could cope without buying discs.
Thing is, I would like to buy discs because, of course, you know, there's times when you can sell games.
Well, I just like collecting them as well.
And if your account gets banned for whatever reason, you know.
But I like, you know, I love buying digital games. So far for my Switch, I've got about 6 games on there, and they're all digital. But I do like collecting physical games. I do like going out to the game store and buying games and putting them on my shelf and things like that. So really depends.
I mean, I have like on my purchase digitally. But of course, when I can, I'll buy the case. It's just when I'm too lazy to go out and get I'll want to get it.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, that gives us a lot to talk about, really. I think that should about wrap up this episode. We were trying to keep this at half an hour. We've gone a bit over, but it's still shorter than last time.
Okay.
I think we will in future try to keep it to half an hour, but there's just so much going on in the gaming industry at the minute that you can't cram it all into a short amount of time, because there's so much going on. But, you know, it gives us a lot to talk about. As always, please leave feedback and suggestions. We now have, we'd like to say a big thank you to another Brandon, not this one, another one, who is running an Instagram account at Nerd Nation Official. Get in touch with them if you have any. If you have any suggestions on what you want us to discuss, you know, you can message him at Nerd Nation Official, or you can message me at James Holder, well, _ James Holder _ or you can message Brandon at Wesker. You know, just give us your thoughts, suggestions, feedback, and we already have a few people saying they would like to be guests on the show in the future, and we will certainly bear that in mind. So if you want to get in touch, please make sure to do so. So on that note, thank you very much for listening. And we have really enjoyed recording this episode, despite the fact that it's our second attempt and we had to start all over again. So thank you very much for listening. And we will see you all